So hi everyone, my name is Nur Sahira binti Muhammad Razi. My metric ID number is 2018265816. I prepared these public speakings for my IMS 556, which is Information Systems, Interactions and Consultation subjects. For my lecturer, there is Professor Madya Dr. Masistah binti Ahmad.
Millions of viewers have paid to watch the international TV hit Game of Thrones, but last year millions more watched it illegally by logging onto pirate file-sharing websites. 5 years after authorities shut down Kim.com's operation, the business of online video and music piracy is still going strong. They thrive on websites accessed through the Tor network, a group of volunteer-run servers which enable anonymous communication.
Most people don't realize is that when you're on Tor, you can type in normal addresses, and it still obfuscates your location and your IP address.
Right. According to a recent survey, there are more than 850 pirate sites, with 50 new ones launching every month.
Based on that situation, can you guess what is the topic that I want to talk about? So, today's topic that I want to talk about is digital piracy. Piracy is a crime. Unfortunately, lots of youth and adults think that sharing software, games, music, and etc. is just a convenient tool to help reduce costs. In fact, digital piracy is often portrayed as a victimless crime, but that portrayal is false. So, do you know what is digital piracy? According to Copyright Office of the United States in 2008, digital piracy refers to the illegal act of duplicating, copying, or sharing a digital work without the permission of the copyright holder. Eventually, advances in computer technology led to the development of computer networks, which allow files to be shared and accessed more readily across network members. At this time, sharing was largely confined to experienced computer user because of the technological skills and equipment required to copy and disseminate the files. Do you know what is the impact of digital piracy? Okay, digital piracy affects the entire legitimate content distribution network, from the product creator to the distributor and all the way to the consumer. Some of the impact of digital piracies are: first, revenue loss. Digital piracy hugely impacts the revenue potential for content creators. For example, Netflix could be losing $192 million in monthly revenue from piracy. Second is reduced production funding. The loss of revenue earning as a result of piracy may ultimately reduce the incentive of content owners to invest in the quality of their existing production or to invest in new ones. So piracy can also result in production being completely stopped. And third is increased security risk. This digital piracy also impacts the security of those accessing illegal content online. Pirates use content to spread malware, trojans, and viruses. With content owners increasingly worried about seeing the value of their investment being leached away by concerted pirate attacks, here are 3 ways to prevent this digital piracy. First is you can remove the incentive. One of the most effective ways of dealing with piracy is by removing the incentive for the consumers to look for pirated contents. Effectively, this can be characterized by offering a good product and a good user experience at a fair price. For example, they want excellent picture quality with no buffering or no latency. So the more the industry can provide that at realistic cost, the less people will be driven towards the pirates' arm. You are not going to stop everyone from watching pirate contents, but this can definitely remove some of the more casual illegal consumer. Second way is public relation and education. There are several strands to this, but effectively the goal is to highlight to the consumers that piracy is a crime and it is illegal. So recently the problem of sharing password and how viewers are sharing login credentials, one that everyone does, and so the activity no longer appears as illegal because the behavior is normal. So efforts are made to remind the viewer that piracy is both morally wrong and a crime can prove successful in driving down numbers, as have been a campaign that have highlighted the roles of organized crime in pirate activities, exposure to malware and inappropriate materials, and the dangers to advertiser of negative brands association with pirate sites. And third ways is legal and enforcement. There are a variety of countermeasures that TV service providers can use to interrupt and remove the pirate content, from the traditional takedown notices to increasing sophisticated real-time messages. With the correct anti-piracy services, operator can identify consumers who are watching illegal streams and incentivize them to switch to legitimate services. These actions scale from soft to hard, with the harder countermeasures involving the introduction of law enforcement authorities. How to spot, avoid, and report this pirated content. Pirated content and the websites that sell or share it can look entirely legitimate, but a few simple tests will help you to spot the fakes, avoid the seller scams, and dodge the malware. So to help you identify the pirated software, it is recommended that first, you have to make sure it's authentic. Be suspicious of software products that do not include the proof of authenticity, such as original discs, manuals, and the warranties. Second is beware of backups. Avoid sellers offering to make backup copies. This is clear indication that the software is illegal. Third is get the seller's contact information. If you cannot contact the seller after making a purchase, you may have no recourse if the product turns out to be pirated. Make certain to get the seller's address if possible. And fourth is keep the receipts. Print out a copy of your order numbers and sales confirmation and file them for your records. So this information will help build your case if it is pirated and further the action is needed. So how to stop the digital piracy for good? The answer is that you can't. While content is being made and broadcasted and operators are charging a price for providing it to their viewers, there will always be pirates looking to exploit the relationship between and demand and turn it to their own advantages. But while you cannot halt the content piracy, you can mitigate against it. So in conclusion, digital piracy negatively impacts the entire distribution network, from the product creator to the distributor and all the way to the consumer. Service providers and content owners have numerous solutions available that they can employ to mitigate and reduce the levels of the digital piracy. Thank you.